I call to order this March 19, 2024 school board meeting. It's a regular meeting of the Oberlin City School Board of Education. Please call the roll.
Mr. Stanley?
Here.
Ms. Garrett? Here. Ms. Stagel?
Here.
Ms. Emeka?
Here. Next, I will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda for the meeting.
So moved. Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Are there any changes, additions to the agenda? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Stanley?
Yes.
Ms. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Stagel?
Yes.
Ms. Emeka?
Yes. Okay, next we have citizens' concerns on agenda items. Do we have anybody submit anything?
No, not this time.
Okay, looks like we don't have anybody. Okay, so next we have news of note and presentations. Dr. Hall.
Tonight we have our JVS presentation. Tonight our board meeting is currently at the JVS. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Faircloth, who have the presentation, and also Mr. Betts, who will be facilitating the presentation for today. Dr. Faircloth, there's a mic there.
Good afternoon, or good evening, should I say.
Can you speak into the mic for the TV? Thanks, it should be on.
You're not that fancy. You don't have this. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Faircloth, Superintendent of Lorain County Joint Vocational School District, and certainly it's our pleasure to host you all's March board meeting here. Before I do a small presentation, we actually have a couple of students that are Oberlin students there in our programs here, and they will take a few minutes just to kind of share their experiences and what does the JVS means to them. I will let them introduce themselves.
So we have 3 students here tonight that are students at the JVS, and we'll give them an opportunity to talk a little bit about their program. It's kind of, the power of being together. So, Victoria, you're first.
Hello, my name is Victoria McCown. I'm a student here at JVS. I go for the cosmetology program. I really enjoy it here. It's really fun. We have very supportive staff members here with us as well, who try to make sure that we're on top of everything and try to really guide us into the right path and help us with everything and really make sure that we're going really into detail with everything and really trying to make sure we full on understand it.
So I'm going to interrupt briefly. The meeting is actually for the board, and I know it gets confusing sometimes because we'll have an audience behind us and the board will be in the opposite direction, but you want to kind of shift yourself so that you are talking to us. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Madeline. I'm here as a senior for the Allied Health Program. Some highlights about the program I would say are the senior year we were able to work on getting our STNA license, which is a state-tested nursing aid. And we were also able to have the opportunity to do our phlebotomy license, which is what we're currently doing now. And something that I like about that is that it's preparing us very well for our future. It's giving us a good taste of what our future holds in our jobs, what kind of careers we can specialize in. I think it's a good base of knowledge to start with in high school.
Hi, I'm Candace. I'm a junior in the Allied Health Program also. I came to JVS because I knew I was interested in the medical field. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do yet, but I knew I was interested. So first semester I took health science and technology, which consists of learning basic patient care, like introducing yourself when you walk into a room with a patient, vital signs. We got CPR certified my first semester. Now I'm taking medical terminology, and I'm also doing that with first aid. So that consists of learning body systems. Currently we're doing the digestive system. And then first aid, it gives you scenarios or emergency situations that would happen in real life to prepare you. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Did you all start as 9th graders or 11th?
I started here in 11th grade.
I started as a junior.
I started as a junior as well.
Any other questions?
What are your plans after graduation?
After graduation, I've actually planned to go to college and take a business class so I could run a salon in the near future.
I plan to attend LC to work on my associate's degree to get my RN license and then maybe further get my bachelor's degree, but I plan on specializing in pediatrics or labor and delivery.
Oh, nice.
And I plan to go to college for pre-med and later on go to medical school.
And I guess I have a question. Are you still currently taking classes at the high school as well as here at JVS, or are almost all your classes here at JVS?
My classes are all here with cosmetology. It's a full day, trade, so I'm here at JVS all day long.
I have my morning at the high school, and I also take some classes through LC online. So I have that as well as a few classes as the high school. Then I come here in the afternoon for my lab.
Okay.
And I'm half day too, so I have my lab in the morning and then I go to the high school for my academics.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And do you participate in any extracurricular activities either here at JVS or at the high school?
I partook in volleyball
Oh, nice.
at the high school. So right after JVS got out, the bus would take us right back to the high school and drop us off. So we were able to partake in any after-school curricular activities.
Throughout this year, I've participated in cheer for football and for basketball.
Okay.
I've participated in Student Council, Black Student Union. I'm a part of the Youth Community Fund Foundation. I also play basketball and volleyball.
That's good.
Awesome. I'm impressed.
Well, I would just like to say congratulations because you young ladies really seem to have it together.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you all
you.
so
Thank you.
much.
And as you can see, a lot of our students are involved with homeschool activities as well as participate here at the JVS. One thing about our programs, for example, our cosmetology program, they would take what we call state board, and they would take state boards exams. And once they pass those students are now certified and qualified to do hair in all the U.S. states. So that's a thing that if you went to a proprietary program, a beauty school, let's say it's $30,000 to complete that program. They will earn the same certificate that they will earn. That same licensure is applicable. They take the same exact test. But for here, they do it for a fraction of the price. As a matter of fact, the price is only them purchasing the kit. And in that kit, it has kind of all the hair supplies and hair tools that they can get started, and they will upgrade from there as they get to working in the industry. As well as our allied health programs, a lot of those students will obtain certain certification like phlebotomists and all these particular things. And we try to stack a lot of our programs, what we call stackable certificates, so that those students, when they leave, they have some things in their tool belt to be able to use, whether they stay in that field or not. And some of the myth is that our students, I often hear that here, the JVSs of the world, career tech centers of the world, is good because not all students want to go to college. And that's what, you always hear. And I say, that's true. Not all students want to go to college, but we all need career tech. If you look in your own lives, there's something that you did require some hands-on. Whether you had to change a light fixture out, whether you had to change a toilet, whether you had to change a flat tire, whether you had to fix something. That's all what we do here. Most of our students have that kind of mindset. And as you heard, these young ladies, all of them plan on attending college, and some are attending college. But a lot of their programs, they already earn college credits as well. So it's a huge thing, and some myths out there that these students don't want to go to college, and that's just simply not true. As a matter of fact, those students will go to college, and say the young lady that's in college, she already ready to go. She will graduate, she will pass her state exam, I'm sure, and then she's able to do hair. So she can make money while she's in college if she so chooses to. And the same thing with young ladies in allied health. They already have certain certificates that they can use and work part-time or even full-time, depending on how they go to college. So we hope that our abilities here is to change lives as they enter through our program. We have a small presentation there. Some of you all seen this presentation. We call it Find Your Success at the LCJVS. It's just a small thing as we talk about there. Some people may or may not know that we have an adult career program as well as a high school. And on our campus, we call ourselves, a couple hundred acres is within the whole entire campus, but we call ourselves 10 acres under one roof. So it's a large facility. So we had to break it down on estimation of square footages for the schools that's in our district or in our county. We probably would equal out to about 4 different schools if we had to break it down. We have 13 associate school districts, as we call them. You hear some students say home districts, but legally on paper, they'll call 13 associate school districts. And as you can see, certainly you guys are a part of this. The interesting fact is that once upon a time, in 1971, when the JVS was beginning, it served 2 purposes. The board of Oberlin was really this board's first board. So just a small little fact out there. So you guys were very instrumental in helping move this agenda forward in 1971. Our high school, we have over 30 programs. Some of these programs, although they're the same in name, but we have added to those programs. Of course, as the world has changed, we have some programs that can do coding, cyber networking. We have drones program that we added to them. So a lot of these programs have other things that's part of it in the name, and we will continue to grow that and grow those offerings as more demands arise. As you know, that most of the auto industry is going to EV, electrical vehicle. So those are some things that we want to add to that particular curriculum. We have to get our instructors trained, of course, to do those things. So we have a gamut of things that we do. As you see, our different high school programs, we have our 9th and 10th grade. I think one of the board members here alluded were these students in the 9th program. Back in 2012, that's when I got here, we were, on average, we had 14 freshmen and 14 10th graders just each year. But the demand was high. We was hurting in other programs. Our HVAC program was low in numbers. Our masonry programs was in numbers. And these, of course, are very attractive program. But what we found, most students were coming as junior year, depending on what wave they come in. For example, if that junior year, majority of the students were interested in customer service type programs or LI Health and COS and things of that nature, those programs then wouldn't get many numbers. So now you had a ripple effect. So now you come in your 10th grade year or your 11th grade year and say welding, and you only have 3 students. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute. So we flipped that upside down a little bit. So I increased the enrollment in 9th and 10th grade. Now those are our largest programs. The JVS in 2012, we set nearly 768 students. Now we're embarking well over 1,700 students to include some of our associate school programs and some programs that we have at LCC. So we have grown significantly. These are some of our dates in our, and some of those dates change depending on how they fall in terms of holidays and sometimes snow day. We had a snow day before doing open house, which is a task to change because a lot of times we order stuff and things of that nature. But these are some of our dates that we have 8th grade tours. A lot of times we bring students in from the 13 associate schools to come in. We also have counselors on a continuous basis that's working with our associate schools, not just for recruitment, but sometimes we have shared interests. You know, sometimes we have some students that we have to make sure that we're trying to create an effective learning program for them, whether it's better for them to go back to the associate school or stay here. And sometimes it's a combination of both. So we do that often with our associate schools. Our Adult Career Center. As mentioned before, some people are not aware of our adult program just because the high school is so massive and they get much more attention. But in our adult program, we do, not only do we have programs that our students do, we have something we call the Adult Diploma Program, which was an initiative done by the state. And that's been a very successful program. And the Adult Diploma Program is where students who may have had some issues while they was in high school, they had to drop out for whatever reason, be it family, medical, or whatever. This was another chance for the governor to say, hey, let's do it this way. So those students now, which are adult learners, can not only get their high school diploma, they also can take different programs in our career tech area to become certified. Welding is a popular one, for example, and CNC CNC working machinists, we do that. We train them in that as well. And some of those students actually do some things in allied health, like medical assistant, nurse aid assistant as well. And those are some of the programs that we offer. And those are just our regular program. Our adult diploma program is not necessarily a program of this because that's a state thing, but it's very popular. One of the things that we're going to bring online soon, which is going to be really incredible for the county, is we're working on, we're still in the infant stage of bringing in our CDL program. So that's going to be huge. We received some grant money to get that started. So my adult ed director, Mr. Smith, is working on that. We have to, of course, buy some semi-trucks and things of that nature, get some other instructors involved. It's a process, but we are in the infancy stages of that. So my hopes is that we can launch that beginning next school year. And what we plan to do for that program, because the CDL, getting your CDL has changed a little bit. You used to have age requirement and all. There's still an age requirement, but it's not so much of 21 anymore. So what we're going to do is bridge some of those programs with the CDL. Like we have a diesel program, so it makes sense that those students, seniors that is, it makes sense that those students can begin to take some CDL classes, because if they're working on this type of equipment, I imagine one day somebody will say, can you drive it, test drive it for us? So some of those programs will have that advantage, and of course it'd be primary for our adult program. So we're really excited about that because the demand for truckers is huge. And we have the grounds for it, so now we will begin to set up the infrastructure for it. So we're really excited about that. And that's some of the things that what we call finding your success at the LCJVS. Any questions?
I'm curious how your adult diploma program, if I got the name right,
Yes.
differs from a GED.
Difference is the GED is you take a test and you get a certificate, and a lot of times depending on using the military, for example, I'm prior service too, I know Dr. Hall is too. When I came in and enlisted, the military, they would not take GEDs. So depending on, I'm using that as an example.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a time period, they say, well, no, you got to have a high school diploma. And then sometimes they do take GEDs, but that high school diploma begins to trump them. And a lot of times with financial aid, certain financial aid things, they ask for high school diploma versus a GED. So it opens up a few more doors than just the GED. And they take classes. Of course, there are some GED classes, but that's like short term. But no, they take an actual classes that they would have had to make up in high school. So it's really a really in-depth program. Yes, ma'am.
I'm interested in your teacher education exploration program. How does that work?
Our T program, we don't have that for adult students, but.
No, but I saw it on
Yes, we do
the
have
list.
it there. And that's kind of like a teacher preparatory program.
Yeah.
We have a small daycare within our facilities. So a lot of those students work within that program, and it's kind of give them an introduction to what they may see and learn and experience as possibly a teacher, a school teacher. And we do have some students that do go into the teaching realm, but then we also have some that say, you know what, I don't think so. So it's a good way. I mean, our teachers have a very difficult job, so this is a way that they can find that out before they go to college and get degreed in that, and then they get their first teaching job, and they say, you know what, I don't think so. So, so it is an exciting program. Any other questions? Well, thank you all, and please enjoy our facilities.
Thank you,
Put it
Dr.
in
Fairclough.
Thank you.
Dr. Hall's hand. I will bill you all for these things, so thank you.
Appreciate it as well. We have about 70 or 80 students that participate in a JVS, I believe, Mr. Best. Probably have 70, 80 of our students that actually participate here. Phenomenal group of kids and very diverse group of students as well. For my next, I'd like to provide the board with some additional updates as well. Our spring recess, our spring break is scheduled for March 25th. That's Monday to April the 1st. School will resume on April the 2nd. Our drama performance is Friday, April the 12th at 7 p.m. They'll be doing James and the Giant Peach. And we'd like to thank our We Care Closet co-founder program that have donated. Tammy Kolesko has donated cleats for our youth flag football program. And they also have donated Easter baskets for this year as well for our students that will be distributed by our social workers as well to students at the elementary level. And next, we will have a facilities update by Mr. Eibel.
Just a few things tonight. I have three things tonight. Just three things tonight. All right.
Hello, how are you? It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you guys as well.
You think it's not on?
Jim, I think he turned it off.
Welcome, guys.
Hi.
So, three things tonight, and they're all agenda items. The first is the board action, the Part C, the authorizing the superintendent for additional work, authorizing additional work for Phase 2 improvements. That is, again, with TDA, our architects, to do some soil borings on the high school elementary property when, again, they talked about expanding the roadway to put in another drive. They wanted to, again, make sure what that was going to consist of for base, so we need to do some soil borings there, and also to look at if a possible creekside extension is part of the plan, and traffic patterns, of course, to know how the traffic's going to flow, since that is a major concern.
Yeah.
So that's really what that scope of work is for. The next item are items C and D, superintendent consent items. Those are with Davie Resource Group. We have been using them. At the new elementary, we had to put in the stormwater retention in the catch basin. You remember with that, we had to come up with an agreement with the city to maintain that, so that we're being responsible with our stormwater. We've used Davie Resource Group to do those inspections. The first year, we had to do 4 inspections, 3 or 4. So we contracted with Davie Tree to come in and do those inspections. They gave great reports. Now we only have to do 1 a year. So that one agreement is for them to come in and continue to do the inspection once a year. So our costs were reduced. We offset that with the other item. With that item, we have some cattail invasion. So you'll see the other one, I think, was in the report for invasive vegetation management. We need to manage those cattails, so that's what the other contract item is for. So they will come in, they have EPA-approved people who will come in and put in a couple applications to eradicate the cattails, and then we'll have to remove them. So that's what the other cost is to maintain those cattails. Otherwise, they grow so quickly, and then they die, and then they end up taking up where the stormwater is supposed to lay. So it just fills up that stormwater retention. That's why we have to get them out of there. So those are the 3 items we have that you might have had questions on there. So that's our facility update. Any questions?
Nope.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Eibel.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next, I'll end my report and turn it over to the board.
Thank you. Okay, so next I will entertain a motion to move to executive session pursuant to revised code 12122G1 to consider the employment and compensation of a public employee or official.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so it's been properly moved and seconded. Any questions, discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Stanley, Ms.
Yes.
Garrett,
Yes.
Ms. Stagel,
Yes.
Ms. Ameca.
Yes. So we will conduct business after this executive session, so we will return.
Yeah, you guys can go if you want.
Yeah, if you want to. Thank you. Yeah, it's only 2 people here.
don't know if this is actually working.
It just works for the people at home.
It just, yeah, it's just for
okay.
people at home.
Awesome. Okay, so we're back and I will entertain a motion to return to regular session.
So moved.
Second?
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Stanley?
Yes.
Ms. Garrett? Ms.
Yes.
Stagel?
Yes.
Ms. Ameca?
Yes. Okay, so next we're moving on to action items. We have board items A through C. And those, A is approval of the February 27, 2024 regular session minutes. B is employment of Jingo and Bear Law LLC as needed for 2024. And then C is approval of the resolution authorizing the superintendent to contract for additional services that he deems necessary for the planning and development of the Phase 2 improvements in connection with the board's Ohio Facilities Construction Commission Expedited Local Partnership Program project.
That's a mouthful.
I will entertain a motion to approve those board items through A through C.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. I told you what they are. Is there any questions or changes to the minutes?
Nope.
Any questions about the employment of, is it Jingo?
Yes.
Jingo, yes.
Jingo and Bear Law. Can you kind of explain to us, Dr. Hall, why?
Emily, who we've used in the past, moved from Squire Boggs to this company.
Okay.
And we like her for certain personnel issues.
And we still utilize Squires as well.
And we still use other lawyers at Squires
Emma-
for other stuff.
Emily Spivak?
Yes.
That's her name,
Yeah.
okay. Any questions there? Okay. And then any questions about the resolution?
Nope.
Okay. Hearing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Stanley? Ms.
Yes.
Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Stagel?
Yes.
Ms. Ameca?
Yes. Okay, now we are moving on to treasurer's items A and B. I will entertain a motion to approve those items.
So moved.
Second?
It's been properly moved and seconded. Bob?
Okay, we ended the month of February with $18,492,577.80. We did have an adjustment because we had to run another special pay at the end of the month because the timesheet was missing. And so we had an adjustment of $342.85 to payroll, the zero balance out account. And then we had outstanding checks of $5,676.95. Interest for the month was $48,697.97, brings the yearly total to $382,922.56. As for the 5-year forecast, we have 70% of the revenue in. We will, as of hopefully Friday, get our last tax for the first half, and we'll know exactly where we stand, and then we can update the 5-year forecast. And we should have that ready to go then for our finance meeting in April and for the board to approve in May. Expense-wise, we're moving right along with expenses. We're at 66%, 56% if you take out the transfers and everything. But if you're looking at the 63% or 62% is really where we're at because we only do the advance and transfers at the end of the year. So, and then in our finance committee, Ms. Stagel brought up about that ethanol plant.
Oh, yes. We getting money from them now?
They actually bought the property from the city, and
Oh.
the county forgot to switch them over to non-exempt. So they are getting a bill, and we will get our money.
Yay!
But they haven't gotten back to me.
Okay.
But yes, they will be moved out of exempt status. There's a bunch of, they have to file stuff with the state, but
Well,
once that
everybody
all
hates that
gets
place,
done,
but
but
it's one
that was
good
a
thing.
great catch, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I'm glad they made noise for you guys to come.
That's awesome.
So yes, that will give us some tax dollars.
Great.
Other than that, with all the rest of the benefits are running the way they should be, so. All funds accounts, there's really nothing outstanding. Once we get in this final payment, we will and the homestead and rollback will transfer the money from Nexus and into the construction account. So that should give them another around $360,000 to $390,000, which would put us up to $3.3 million. And everything else, we're getting ready to stop the purchase orders for the end of the year. We'll do that sometime in April so that everything that we order will be in. And buildings have been made aware of that to make sure that they're doing their planner for summer school and for graduation and all that other stuff. So, and this year, the Drama Club did go electronic on Ticklets,
I
where you
saw
can
that.
actually pick your seat.
Wow, yeah.
So it's pretty neat, and we have had people use it in the community, so.
Did we
that
have
was-
to buy a new program for that?
No, actually, we used a program that, for sports that we already had, and we really hadn't used it for sports, so we
Yeah.
just piggybacked on it. So.
Perfect.
But they got a nice design of our auditorium, and every seat has a number, and it's good to go.
We're delivering food as well, is that?
No, they're
No, okay, just checking.
Placing orders.
Yes,
Placing orders,
okay.
yeah, we're not there yet.
Not there, okay.
We're getting ready to start that maybe next year, do a dinner and a show.
Sorry, Bob, I just had one question
Sure.
about the all funds. Are we really at negative 226 in lunchroom?
Yes. Again, it's 1 month behind on the expenses come in as is, but we get reimbursed from the federal government 1 month behind. So our
Okay.
payment this year was right around, for this month, it was right around $30,000. So yes, those are correct numbers. All those encumbrances are open. We won't spend all that money,
Okay.
so,
It just seems much higher than usual.
well, last year let's see, what was last year, prior year? Last year, 2 years ago, it was 151, last year was 80,000. So we should be in between those two numbers, closer to the 81.
Okay.
And we did, if you remember, in February and the first part of October, we did pay for breakfast for everybody because the state was changing, but they wouldn't pick up
Oh,
costs
right.
until October. So that was something, and then they lowered the percent that we get kicked back. So that is why they are doing, but we have had much better attendance this year in the lunchroom of the workers, and we're still feeding more kids, especially at the elementary. And at the high school, there's more kids eating now, so. And with food costs, that's another issue.
Everybody's doing this.
And then we have donations. Oberlin College, $500 to Special Olympics. We had Cable Co-op, $150 to Special Olympics. We have We Care Closet, $1,050 for new cleats for the athletes. Kathleen and Joseph Ledina, $20 to the junior class. And the Nord Center, Emma Mason, $200 to the Oberlin Endowment Fund.
Awesome,
And that's all I have, Ms. President.
thank you. Any questions, any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Stanley?
Yes.
Ms. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Stagel?
Yes.
Mr. Mecca?
Yes. So next, I will entertain a motion to approve superintendent's consent items A through F.
5.
5.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Dr. Hall?
Okay, thank you. Item A is the Meta Solutions Master Service Agreement. It's an annual occurrence for the 24-25 school year. eMeta is utilized far as for state reporting system, like our EMIS system as well. They link together. So we utilize Meta as one of our sites, so the EMIS information that we report to the state flows through there as well. So like our report card information, our attendance, it goes through EMIS and all the way goes through Meta. So that helps with our finances as well. Item B is Frontline. That's a human resource program that we utilize. Frontline at financial planning, analytical subscription. There are also some of our applications go through Frontline as well. And the finance use that as well to the program. That's an annual occurrence. Item C is the Davie resource, and item C and D, I think Mr. Eibel just gave us a little brief summary on those two. Item E is approval of the second reading, adoption of the following audit review policies. So we can all have a round of applause. That's it. And a second reading, and they go into the end of the book.
Now we have spring update.
Yes, all right.
Really miss Norm.
Yeah, our buddy.
Item F is personnel report. We have a few resignations, a few teachers and administrators who are resigning and moving on. Item 2 is additional contracts as well. Item 3 is employee contingent recommended for approval of the following employment. You have substitute teachers here who's joining us, well needed, and we'd like to thank them. We also have the school psychologist, Emily Tezak, who's coming back with us as a rehire. She did a phenomenal job, and she's been rehired back this year. Item 4 is the leave of absence. A few teachers are leaving. And item 5 are supplemental contracts for some intramurals and wrestling and cheerleading. Request approval for item A through F5 from the board.
Any questions? I did have a question about the school psychologist. When you say it's a rehire, did she leave the district and is coming back, or?
No, she was hired after August, so all employees per the union contract hired after August have to reapply for their positions. So we interviewed her, and she decided to, and she did well during the interview, and she decided to stay with Oberlin City Schools, so we're happy.
Great, okay. That's helpful. Thank you for clarifying that. Anybody else? Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, call the roll.
Mr. Stanley,
Yes.
Ms. Garrett,
Yes.
Ms. Daigle,
Yes.
Ms. Ameca.
Yes. Okay, so next we have any comments or discussion or board updates on the various committees that the board members are representatives.
I have an update for the endowment board. We have our first meeting tomorrow, but Bob let us know that we have $43,000 available for distribution for this grant cycle, which includes our spring, fall Phoenix grants and the micro grants. In 2023, we raised $36,000 through an appeal letter and Connect to a Cause. The spring grant cycle is currently open and will close on April 5th, so teachers should get those filled out and get them into us.
Okay. Anyone else with an update?
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is from the Ohio School Board Association that, the Ohio Board of Education has been pretty much defanged, but one thing that they do have is about a $3 million deficit. And they are, by the end of the year, and they are considering raising the fees for teacher licensure, which I think really stinks that they're going to try to fix their financial problems on the backs of all the teachers.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I have.
Wow.
I don't know if this fits here, but Bob and I met with bond counsel and Kathleen Clark, and I think cautiously optimistic that we'll be able to finance without going above our 4.8 mil. We'll have to do some little trickeries for a couple of years, but I think we'll have more to say on that later.
Awesome. I don't have any update for any of the committees that I represent. And then I don't know, I mean, this isn't technically an update from Ann for JVS, but she did send information about a Holocaust Remembrance Day. There's going to be free community events, and it's a collaboration with the college and others in the community. It's also an event that'll take place at Lorraine Palace Theater. And it's on Sunday, May 5th at 4:30 at Oberlin College Warner Hall in the Oberlin Conservatory. And then on Monday, May 6th at 7 p.m. at the Lorraine Palace Theater. She's encouraging us to, get the word out about this event and try to get our students to participate by attending. So I just wanted to share that. And I know it's on Dr. Hall's radar to see if we can get it.
I think we already have it organized and ready to go.
Yeah,
I believe
high
Mr.
school
Betts.
Sending every freshman and sophomore on May 7th, that Tuesday?
Mhm.
Tuesday, May 7th. Jane Emily has made arrangements and set everything up, so we're excited for our freshmen and sophomores to participate.
So is May 7th a special date that's going to be for our kids? Because this flyer only has the 5th and the 6th.
For schools, I think the 7th and 8th are
Okay.
2 days are outlined for all
Okay.
schools to sign up.
Oh, nice. And will that be at the Lorraine Palace Theater? Oh, that's great. Okay, great. I'm glad we're on top of it. Okay, so I don't have any other updates. Anyone else? Okay, so, what'd you say?
Nobody signed that, Jay?
Did anybody sign? Yeah, I'm
One
moving
of
on
those
to that
guys, I
next.
want to talk, you know? I don't want to
Okay.
get smacked.
So next we have, had this, on the agenda is hearing of the public on other items, but we did not have anyone sign up. Future meetings. So we have April 9th of this year, our work session, 6 p.m. at Oberlin Elementary. We moved it from March to April so we can have more time to put together our subject matter and have presentations for the district. On April 23rd is our regular meeting for the month of April. That'll be at Oberlin Elementary, 6 o'clock. And May 28th is our regular meeting, 6 p.m. at Oberlin Elementary for the month of May. So with that, I will now entertain a motion to move to executive session pursuant to Revised Code 121.22G1 to consider the employment and compensation of a public employee or official.
So moved.
Second?
It's been properly moved and seconded. We will not conduct business after this motion. Please call the roll.
Mr. Stanley?
Yes.
Ms. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Stagel?
Yes.
Ms. Emeka?
Yes. Okay, so we are going into executive session, and then we will close.